Time. Okay, everybody, welcome to the October Leader Call. Last call, of course, was magnificent. We cannot expect magnificent all the time, okay? But every now and then we get magnificent. That's good. I'm going to spend just a little time. Most of you have got this figured out, but I want to make sure that when you're talking to your team members, because they don't all talk to me, one, I want you to know what's going out to them. And two, I want you to understand, because with these incentives that are out here right now, I'm sure everybody want to go to Mexico. I know I want to go to Mexico. And if you don't want to go to Mexico, you can earn $500 or $1,000 in place of Mexico. I say it's a win-win all the way around. But I want to make sure that you're very aware of what needs to happen with your team members, how I'm trying to influx this to create a pattern so that many of our people, including yourselves, will go. I will tell you, books look really good. If Avon can get us the product, it'll be even better. Thank you very much. I'm sorry we cannot do the sales call. Zoom was a complete crapper last week. It's horrible. Like I couldn't get the replay out for the Zoom meeting we had for the newbies, and it was such a good meet, but it just wouldn't take, and then it wouldn't let me get on as host, and then they had this big crash and I had to update a bunch of stuff the next day. So it was crazy, but it's okay. We'll get through it. This one did go through, this last one. This new rep meeting that I just had at 6 o'clock, I haven't put it on YouTube yet, but it looks like it recorded okay. So this is going to go out to all the newbies, but we went over the incentives. We went over how do you get to Mexico. We went over how do you get that iPad in your hand if you started July 11th or after that. We talked about how to get on board with this pre-incentive that they've given us in order to get people underneath us advanced or give them a chance to get points before this really starts. And a lot of people were really excited about it. So I'm hoping that the people who take the time to watch it, they'll get excited about it too. But the most important thing for me is to make sure that you guys are very aware, whether you're watching this live or you watch this in the replay, however you're seeing this, to make sure that you're aware how this is going to roll out, and that you're aware of how this is going to help your business in the long run, no matter what you walk away with, whether it's the little prizes, all the prizes, just to make sure that you know that the end result of any incentive is that when you leave the incentive, that your business is in a better place at the end of the incentive than it was before you started. Because Avon is always going to have incentives for us or the newbies or somebody. But what we want to make sure of is that you can look back at where your business was at the beginning of the incentive and say, my team is bigger, my team sales are bigger, my sales are bigger, that as a whole, your team looks better and that your team is more involved. And not everybody's going to be excited about this incentive. So if you're like, what's wrong with you people, which is what I say all the time, because again, money or a trip, I'm thinking it's a win-win one, but some people just don't see that. So if they don't, I say, you don't want to drag those who don't see it or don't want it. You want to work with those who do want it. And you want to help them know that there are, oh my God, that little doggy is so cute, Sharon. Oh my gosh, I just realized there's a doggy behind her. What a little cutie. Oh my gosh. Okay, I just squirreled. I'm sorry. And that their business can be better for this. And stop laughing at me, Amy. I seriously. So at this moment, I'm back on track. So hold on, okay? So for the fourth quarter, let's start with just briefly what we're doing as a team here. What are we doing for incentives for our teams to help them gear towards? I mean, I had no clue that this pre-incentive was coming, and it has been. Yeah, Brenda?
I have a question while you're talking about incentives. On the iPad, where it says July 11th, my coach told me that they've had clarification that it's any appointments campaign 16 through 26 instead of going by July 11th. I don't know if you've heard that or if she's correct.
Well, this is what we've heard. You realize that when we did share the love, it also included anybody who may have been with us and not placed a first order, but they let them come in and play. It's the same deal. You could have somebody who is not placed an order yet. You know, like they've been sitting there. We don't know why they're still sitting there, but they're sitting there. And if they come in and place an order at this point.
Right, but I'm talking about like to look for who has, so we know who already has. Do we just go to look and see who placed an order C16 on? Well,
you can say C16, but end of story is it's you can say 16, they're going to include that, but in reality, considering that they started this July 11th, this whole thing, if they didn't place an order July 11th, which most of them placed it after July 11th, if nothing was done July 11th, then that's who's in. And when the report comes out, it's supposed to include all this. Okay.
Oh, we're going to have a report. I just knew I'd been looking and hadn't found it.
I said, Brenda, you know I'm still looking for it too, baby. But
you are awesome. I just want to reach out to who I can. I just want to reach out to who I need to.
That's exactly right. And for me right now, until I see the report, especially for the iPad, because that's the one that's a little tricky. That's the one that's newbies, but how new do they have to be? But Brenda, you're right. If you're going by campaign, we are talking 16 if we're going to say campaign. In reality, the way Avon looked at that was July 11th is what started that. So anything from a July 11th on a start, even if they had been sitting there since campaign 7, whatever it is, and hadn't done anything yet. And now this is what's cool too. Anybody who comes in right now too, they're in it just like they were anyway. So I like the fact that it is something for newbies, and it's not that everybody is getting one. For you as a leader, because some of you are newer leaders, Avon is really good about giving us lots of incentives at one time or no incentives, and we're waiting for the next one. To have that happy medium where it's not all fourth quarter and you don't give us 5 incentives to keep up with, it's just making us into better leaders. I'm determined that's what it's going to do, but it's driving me crazy, okay? So before we get to the iPad, which since I'm talking to leaders and most people are going to be saying, what's going on with Mexico and how can I earn that trip? We're gonna talk about that. Now, my incentives, this is why I put the thing in for the sales incentive for 21 through 23, and then we'll have another one, 24 through 26, to help build those sales in order to get these different things. And also the recruiting incentive, which is 21 to 26, to get the gift cards and the honey bun cakes and all that stuff. It's to say, I had no clue they were going to do this other incentive. So I said, let's just gear up and work this business because, again, come campaign 1, I want to make sure your business is in a much better place, but not just because we've had a holiday season, but because we've had people sign up during the holiday season, which is going to help you in the campaigns 1, 2, 3, which are normally really, really slow. And we want to make sure that if we have those people ready to go in, your business, it may not be up here, but what would be really nice is that it doesn't do this. We would like it to level out in those campaigns and you still have people coming on. You still have people who are placing their first order because all of this is significant to you. And if you're going after Mexico or whatever it is that you're going after with incentive. So, so Lee and I have been keeping track of that, which is cool. First of all, I want you to know that added to the welcome packs between now and campaign 8 until it ends, not that I look for anybody to get 5,000 points in campaign 8, but you know what? I believe in all of them. If they want to do it, they can do it. everybody will be getting, thanks to Tammy Leonard, if she watches this replay, she's been sick, but she printed up a whole bunch of these at her shop in color for me to include in the new reps packets. So anybody who's signing up from here, they're going to get this. So this is going to boom. This is going to look at them. It's just not another black and white instructional thing. It has the, it's a Fiesta, that it is an incentive, and also in color how they can earn it. And then there will be a label on here who says, want to earn this? Call your upline today. Find out more. So I'm hoping it's going to drive them to contact us and to show them how they can, okay? So that's going to be added on there so that you're aware of that. Let me show you what I showed the people tonight. Let me see if I can get this to come up and share a whole lot better than I did earlier. Hold on. Okay, everybody, Brenda, can you see that? Okay. All right, so here we go. And this was courtesy I'm actually using. I was in Georgia and was spending time with Lisa and Eric this weekend. And Lisa had put this together to show her team. And you know me, I love duplication. So I said, send that stuff to me because I'm not redoing what you've already done. So we went in and tweaked it just a little bit, but this is great. So who wants a vacation? And I also, if you want this, you can email me about this and I can send you the PowerPoint. This was on the new rep call. So if they watch the YouTube, they're going to see it, which is good. But if not, and you want to send it or you find somebody who's interested, I love this. Again, June 2nd through the 5th. How are you going to get this? Well, if you want to go by yourself and leave those troublesome people behind you, you need 5,000 points so you can go vacation by yourself. That's what you need. If you decide you want to take your man, your boyfriend, your sister, your aunt, somebody strange, whoever you want to, you're going to need 7,000 points to do that. So if you want to do that and you want a trip for 2, you're going to need 7,000. If you can't make the trip, this is what we have to remember to let people know. Some people don't like Mexico. Some people don't like flying. Some people don't like, but I'm going to tell you what everybody likes. Everybody likes money. Everybody likes, I've never met anybody who tell me they don't like money. So if they can't make the trip and they get the trip for 1, they're going to get a $500 buyout for the trip. And if they earn the trip for 2, they can earn $1,000. So I love that because it's either or. And let's not forget everything they're going to earn on their way towards points. Some people will not even be interested in doing any of this. They're just selling a little Avon, but they're going to earn the towel. They're going to earn the tote. They're going to earn the, okay, and let me be clear. I saw that there was a hairbrush and a mirror. So y'all know I said, is this like a Walmart hairbrush? What? Why is that the last price? I have been told by the incentives team that everybody is going to love this. I don't know what that means, and I've seen no pictures, but it seemed to me that it would have been the first one before the towel if it was just hairbrush. And because I'm not, this must be a collector's item or something, because I'm not using a new brush. I already know what brush works in this mop, okay? I don't need a new one, but it's okay. So, but they're saying, because you remember the third one was what? The suitcase with Bermuda, I think. So you know, I said, are we saying this is comparable to a suitcase? And they said, oh, yeah. I said, does the mirror light up? You know, I was just adding those things. Brenda's laughing at me, but she knows what I'm saying. I'm like, how can that be the third prize? So they're telling me, yes. I'm just going to leave it alone and say, it don't matter. We ain't going to be brushing our hair in Mexico anyways. We're going to be in the pools the whole time. So it don't matter. So it'll be good. So, you know, but people are going to be earning this stuff. And some people aren't even going to go on the trip, but they're going to earn these things. So there's all things to get in between as usual. So I do love that. You earn it for 2, don't have a guest, go on the trip, get your own room with someone, take $500 spending. There's just so, go on the trip and get your own room or a room with someone and take $500 with you. How about that? How about that? You need more money? How about that? Look what they're going to do. there's all kinds of ins and outs. But the thing is to get there. I'm going to try to remember, guys, to look at the chat here. I forget. I get all crazy. Hey, look, I don't need no Bitmoji of Molly as a squirrel. Stop it, Andrew. Okay, it's all good here. Okay, let's go. Okay, so let's go on to the next one. So this is what hopefully you've already seen, is these are just the rules in general. What you have to do in order to get there. The points, I think, are a lot better on this one, and I like this. And I also like that we are able to earn points a lot quicker. You know, we can't earn them all the same way. We can't put it, our orders aren't going to count. I get that. But if we are doing this and we think about 3 nights, 4 days in the hotel, unlimited, all-inclusive package with unlimited food and beverage, airfare, ground transportation to and from the hotel in Mexico, welcome reception, farewell reception. It's all good. I get it. But now we're talking about especially our people just coming in. For all of you who have people, their people are promoters, star promoters, whatever it may be. Now is the time to figure out, is this an incentive that they would like to earn? Because if it is, they need to be getting out there talking to people. Traditional recruits is going to get them 300 points. If they promote to bronze ambassador, remember, 3 people on your team, between you and your team, 1,000 people. You got to have 3 orders in, so 3 different orders plus yourself, $1,000 in sales. If they promote to bronze ambassador, and that's not the end, because if they do this and then they can earn the bonus for doing that the first time, that's more money in their pocket. They're going to make more money in general. But I love this because they're going to get 500 during that 23 through 26. And then if they're in your first gen, guess what? 250 points for you. This is the time now that I know Avon's thing is the road to bronze leader. I don't exactly, but they also knew there aren't very many people who are hitting bronze leader between 23 and 26 if they're starting from the beginning, okay? So promote them to bronze ambassadors. That helps you get a head start on the trip. It helps them get a head start on the trip, okay? And if they've got somebody, you know, think about it. They get a friend and a friend is telling their friend, they could promote to bronze ambassador. So again, this is a do-all. I love this. Everything that they do is going to help them. So we're going to get through 26. And then what are we going to do? It's going to say your first 1,000 points. Hey, that's really great. You're going to get the towel. I'm sure it's going to be something that says Mexico and says Avon. 2,000 points, you're going to get the towel and the tote. 3,000 points, mirror and brush set, and the tote and the towel. 5,000 points to win the trip for 1, and 7,000 points the trip for 2. So let's talk about the selling aspect here. Selling aspect is like it was before. And the story is you can sell some or you can sell a lot more. What is the big deal with new reps who come into this business? They're not making any money if they're not selling. Now they have an incentive that is going to push them to sell a little bit more. And if they're getting the 40% on their core products, that's even better. So every order between campaign 1 and 8, that is $300 to $499 is going to get you 100 points. That's good, but anything that's $500 or more is going to get you 200 points. So obviously, you want to try to get the $500 or more. Think about that. 1,600 points right there if you do that every campaign. And that's just you working your business, which is good. Recruiting. We went over hardly anything about Alma because let's be real. New representatives, they can't even use, there is no Alma leads for them. They have not worked their warm market. So I told them, recruiting flyers, talk to everybody, tell people you're trying to earn a trip, and hey, Would you like to come on board and try to earn a free all-inclusive trip with me to Mexico too for 3 nights and 4 days? I said, you have to let people know what you're going after. And sometimes when you do it together and you get that partner in crime, that can be a really good thing. So we really talked about that. Every time you do that, that person puts in their first or second order of $150 or more and pays for it on time. They're going to get 300 points. I mean, I love that this is when it is. Do you want to make money for Christmas because you know that your kids need Christmas? Or have you told your husband that you, or haven't told your husband that you went over the $500 budget for Christmas and you really spent $1,500 and now your tail got to pay it off? So now they need to join Avon because you just told a mild lie, okay? So now they need it. If nothing else, they need the $1,000 and they ain't going to Mexico. One or the other. So this is the time, in all honesty, to be able to say, everybody has a need. Yes, it slows down in one for sales normally. We're not going to see that this year. We're not going to see slowdown in one because one is coming in December. And no, there's no moving the dates like we normally do. And yes, my understanding is they're going to bring in a campaign 27 next year in 2019. There is no way for them to do that. And that way we will start campaign 1 off in January, starting in the next year. But right now, there's no way for them to do that. So campaign 1, it's campaign 2. That it's going to be a little worrisome, okay? Because that's going to be the first one in January, and that's going to be our slow one, okay? But, again, are we bringing people on board in 24, 25, and 26? Because if we are, then those people alone are going to be starting their business in 1, 2, and 3. That is what keeps us going in all of this, okay? So, if you can see the pattern here, it's, I know Christmas is here. I know New Year's is coming. I get the fact that we kind of in our heads go, oh, yeah, everything, you know, it just slows down here. Just don't even believe in that. Keep working your business because you've got an incentive that you need those campaigns not to be dormant in your business. You need to still have people who are putting in those first orders that are getting the $150. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, Andrew, that's definitely what they're saying. They're saying that it's you know, they did this years ago. Years ago there was, because of the same thing, and it worked really, really well. But because we have flex scheduling now, they can't flip-flop the dates or anything else. And I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not sorry to see that going because those dates were absolutely confusing before. What counted, what didn't count. So yeah, so on that, we're good. Okay, so then let's talk. Every time, now this is where also, this isn't just about the first or second order now, and we'll let them do what they want to do. Now, first or second order, $150 paid order or more. But now, every campaign in the incentive that they place $150 paid order or more, you're going to get an additional 100 points every time that new person does that. And again, not everybody on your team, don't we wish? Only those people who come in during the incentive. So think about this. Let's just say you have 10 people who join and you know, and they're part of this in camp 1 through 4. Do you realize then what you have every campaign, the additional? If you had 10 people, you're getting an additional 1,000 points right there. And then if those people do it and you bring on 2 more people who do the 150. So you see that as this goes, the points are there for you to grab. This is not a huge point central. This isn't like, man, I don't even know if this is obtainable. This is so obtainable, but it has to be obtainable with you working. You cannot wait till the last minute and go, okay, 3's here. I got 3 through 8. Now's the time to be working it. You have got to take the people you have now and you've got to be working it. And let me be clear here. I want everybody who wants to earn this, I want to see them earn it. But this is what I want for you more than that. I want you that when campaign 8 closes, whether you're on the trip for 1, you're on the trip for 2, whether you're sitting at home with a hairbrush and a mirror and a towel and a toque and you miss it, okay? I want you to be able to look at the end of campaign 8 and say, oh my gosh, I'm looking at where my business was in campaign 23 and look at it now. Look how many more team members I have. Look how my sales have grown. Look at the fact that I moved up a title and look what I got. Look at the bonuses. See, this is an incentive that's put in place so that if you work your business the way that you should be working it every single day, every single campaign, you will be left in a better place. You will be making more money and you will still be in Mexico, which is very good. So you get to earn the $100 for every 150 plus order during the incentive. Now, if you promote to a new leadership title, Bronze Ambassador and above, for the first time, 1,000 points every time you do that. Now, if you want to talk about getting somebody underneath you who is a promoter, a star promoter, whatever, you want to talk about getting them on board, you don't know how many people I saw on the last incentive that promoted to Bronze Ambassador, and then somewhere else, a couple of campaigns later, they promoted to Silver Ambassador. Crazy. Crazy that it can happen. Now, for me, I'm not going to lie. I was like, come on, Silver Executive. We doing 70,000. All I need is 30,000 more. We're good. I didn't really see that happening, people, okay? But what was great is I said that may not happen for me, but you know what could happen to me? I had people that I mentored towards new titles in my first generation. And what happened? I got 500 points for that. So make sure, number one, leaders, whether you're watching this live or you're watching this on the replay, you need to make sure that the people you're working with, what is the highest title that they have been at? Because hitting that title again after they've been there is not going to help them. Even though we want them to hit it, we want them to make more money. Yes, you want them to hit it, but not in the context that it's going to get you more points for the cruise. Okay, and if you're not sure, you can call leadership. If you call your upline, well, we're all a team here. We're all a tribe. We will help everybody know. But a lot of you are newer leaders. And now working with your other people, you are talking about making people, bringing them up and having them take this to, you know, Bronze Ambassador, Silver Ambassador, all of that. Let me see here. Hold on. I think let's move this up one more. Hold on. Let me move this over. So this is our thing here. We work hard. We play harder. We start building points C23 to C26. Okay. Again, there's the recap. You can do it through traditional recruits, non-ALMA leads, 300 points. You know what this tells me? Every lead that you have that's an older lead that you put in your system, everybody who somebody who was removed for you older, your older leaders who's been gone over a year and you want to bring them back into the business, this is the time to bring them back into the business because they're going to be considered a new traditional lead then, not an ALMA generated lead. And you're going to get 300 points for them if they come in and do that. Anybody who moves to Bronze Ambassador, they're going to get 500 points. If you are that person mentoring them in your first generation to Bronze Ambassador, you're going to get 250 points. And that's through 23 and 26. Now, just on the pregame here, the 23 through 26, does anybody have any questions? Anybody got anything that can help anybody here? Unmute yourself. This is very laid back. It's just going to our leaders. It's not going to everybody else. So anybody got something for us? Are we clear?
I was just seeing in the chat and about how to motivate, their team, and 10 people on the team and people ordering, people not ordering. Honestly, the best thing you can do is just provide information, be there, and go out and find some more. And just keep being that person, and then you'll start seeing it happen. You'll start seeing the ones that'll start doing and pulling in on that.
Absolutely. That's really great, Brenda. Thank you for adding in there. Let me see here. Let me read through that at a state. What ideas can you do? Well, Sharon, the first thing, it's like Brenda said, just you got to talk about it. Look, we don't know yet whether the trip can excite somebody or not. Like I said, some people are like, no, because if I can't drive there, I ain't going. I ain't flying. I ain't doing it. It ain't happening. Get out of here. But if you say, could you use an extra $500, $1,000, not to mention what you can make along the week? Most of them are going to go, I'm in, baby. It was like me, when I started leadership, $500. I'm in, Marianne. Tell me when to do it. Tell me what to do, Marianne. I'm going to do it. It's all good. So the first thing you have to do is put anything they could get out there and figure out who's going to bite and what are they biting at, because it's what I'm going to do with people. The other thing would be, Sharon says, I can't depend on them to have orders so far. I'm the only one that hasn't ordered this campaign. Sharon, I feel that way all the time, baby. It's okay. And I got a whole lot of people on my team. And I talked to one of my leaders today. I was talking to him through text, and I said, did your whole team run away? Because not one of them had placed an order this campaign. What is going on? And she said, I don't know. And I'm like, well, if you don't know, I surely don't know what's going on. Okay, it's going to happen. And by the way, when you have a smaller team, sometimes that does happen. You've just got to know that you are putting the information out there along with me, along with your uplines, to say, is this going to make somebody bite who maybe hasn't done that before? And the other thing I would tell you is, don't worry so much about the people who are on your team right now, and get out there and recruit some new people. That's what I would tell you. Because in the beginning of my business, I was so worried about what people weren't doing when I knew I had done what I should have done as a leader, but they still weren't doing anything. And when that happened, I realized I just didn't have enough people on my team who wanted to work at anything. They just wanted everybody to hand them everything. So that's not going to get us to Mexico, depending on people who are, for lack of a better word, lazy, unmotivated, entitled, broke, and they don't care. I mean, I could go on and on, because for me, I'm like, if I don't earn the trip, I don't earn the trip. But I want to know one thing. I know that the more I work this business, the more money I'm going to make. The more I sell, the more money I'm going to make. The more new customers I get, the more money I'm going to make. This is a really simple thing, but who wants it and who doesn't want it? That is the truth. So what I would say is, use this incentive to maybe entice other people. When you're posting on social media, when you're talking to people, I'm so excited about my company right now. I have an opportunity to earn a trip. And by the way, put the things out there, like I said, that says it's going to be all-inclusive food and drink, my travel, my airfare, they're welcome, farewell dinner, the whole night. They treat us like kings and queens. I'm trying to earn my first trip with my company. Who wants to earn a free all-inclusive trip with me? Sometimes somebody will go, well, that really doesn't sound too bad after Christmas and knowing I spent all that money. And and at the same time, this can be your side hustle. This can be your side hustle, and you'd be surprised what will suddenly pick somebody's brain to say, I want to do this. So you don't shut the door on your people, okay? Don't shut the door on your people. You want to put these things out there. And I mean, just like this, again, I'm going to send the YouTube out to everybody and put it in the group of what we went over in the new rep, which went over all of this, guys, okay? But you may want to reach out to the people that you've talked to, because a lot of your people don't talk to me and go, did you happen to see Molly's new YouTube that she sent out or that's in the group? Wow, this trip incentive, anybody can earn this with a little effort. And sometimes they will jump on board, especially if in campaigns 23 through 26, you're going, oh my gosh, our incentive, all I need is 5,000 points. I already have 1,000 before the incentive ever even starts in campaign 1. Think about that. Think about the fact that they gave you this pre-incentive thing with not even everything like the sales part. You can't even do that. But you have already earned this much towards a trip, and oh my gosh, I have 16 more weeks to earn this. Think about that, because you got 8 campaigns, 16, and right, people could come on board with me right now and they could earn this too. I would love to partner with some. I can't wait to be on the beaches of Mexico. I can't wait to use the hairbrush and mirror. You know I got an issue with that, right? I'm just saying, people. I'm just saying. It's probably going to be awesome, and y'all are going to go, Molly, see, why you judge like that? You see how nice that hairbrush was? Everybody won't want any hairbrushes. That's probably what you'll say, but at this moment, I'm not convinced. Okay, Amy says, hey, I had 4 orders this time and was able to keep title and had team sales of $1,804. Haven't been there in a while. Yes, Amy. Amy is back, everybody. She is back. Yes, I love that. That's great. Now, Amy, think about that. Here we are. We're just on the peak, just at the start of the holidays. We haven't even really slid into first base yet. And can you imagine where that can be? Where that can be just through the holiday season. And if you can keep these people excited, or how about this? Like even in campaign 1, let's say you have a couple of people who have a $300 or more order, and maybe one person who has a $500 or more order, and you're like, oh my gosh, such and such already got her first 100 points towards the Mexico. They're not even thinking about it, but you're calling them out and letting them know, Amy, oh, they've got their first 300, or they've got this. And as you're doing that, people are suddenly going to go, wow, maybe I do have a chance to do this. So, wow, whether you want the trip or you want to earn money, we can earn trips and earn money all at the same time. Not too many people can say that, which is good. So, Amy, this is a great start for you before we're even out of the gate. So that's great. Way to go.
I just texted everybody and said there was still time, and if they placed an order, I was going to send them a sample pack, and instantly 2 people, one person that hasn't.
Follow up, baby. Follow up. You just proved what follow up can do in the game. Did y'all hear what she said? Followed up, called them, texted them, said, hey, there's still time to place your order. But now here you go. Boom. These people put in the order. She offered them just a sample packet. And there it is. Again, you can come up with something that suits where you are in your business. So that is a really good thing. And I mean, and look, Amy was really bummed a few months ago. She was really bummed about, leadership again, and people just weren't, they weren't doing what they should have been doing, but that's the name of the game. They just don't do it sometimes. But she decided she was going to get back up on that horse, get some people in there, re-engage some other people. And here she is, and she's on Brenda Lloyd's team, like quite a few of you. And, this is what I'm watching. See, I'm watching the whole generation. I'm sitting here watching Brenda, and I'm watching Amy, and I'm watching Tina, and I'm watching all these people come in here, and I'm like, oh my God, look at Brenda's numbers as a whole. How did this come about? And then I'm going, look at Tina's. Oh my God, there's Amy's. So for me, it's this influx of the whole tribe is building, whether it's their sales or their team is doing something. You're scratching your head, some of you, and going, I didn't even contact my team, and they did something. How'd that happen? I didn't even reach out to them, and something happened. Sometimes that's what happens. Something happens and they need the side hustle and they get it done. But what I know is, as a team, you all are more engaged. And it's the best feeling in the world to see something that was just kind of sitting there existing, and all of a sudden, new life has been rebirthed in a section, a branch of our tree. And may I say, Your branch, Brenda Lloyd, is outshining a lot of branches out there right now, sister, because the one thing your team doesn't do, they don't freaking give up, sister. They don't give up. They keep going, and I'm watching it every freaking campaign, and I'm watching you all, Brenda, get this close to regaining a title that she deserves so much, and she keeps getting close, and I'm like this. I'm like licking the screen like, come on, Number, go up. I knew she could a little bit. It's coming.
I just know that changing the team from Bo Brochure Givers to Team Determined, because I was determined and knowing my team was determined was the best move. And
Yeah.
it is them, and it is when you talk about seeing them engaged. Seeing your team engaged is
It's huge.
well, it's huge.
It's huge. It's huge. And you all have different reasons for being engaged. Y'all have different reasons, that things that keep you here even through the struggles. And Brenda has been somebody who, again, it's the same thing. No matter what has happened in her life, she's never let go. There's always something that said, no, this is where I need to be. I may not be able to do everything that I want to do when I want to do it, but I have to tell you that I'm still here. I'm not giving up. I'm still breathing. I'm going to bring this back to life. And you all, as a tribe, have bought this unit, this branch of our huge, huge Avon oak tree. You have bought this back to life, and there are just new blossoms coming everywhere. And then I'll see this little blossom that looked like it was kind of dying, and all of a sudden, there's new birth coming out of that one too. It's just the most amazing thing in the world to see. So I mean, kudos on that. Amy says, I have one that wants to work on recruiting now, so that's new for me and exciting. It absolutely is, Amy. Grab her by the hand, my friend. Find out what makes her tick and go after it. Let me see here. What else do we got? We should try a Zoom call at 8 a.m. Are you crazy? Andrew, if you're still on here, do I look like I start calls at 8 a.m.? All my leaders on here will say, well, we could all start, but Molly will be there in an hour or so.
That's what we do, Avon.
That's right. Don't you remember me?
It was a compliment to how well the call is going tonight.
I love you, Andrew. Andrew's like, now let me tell you something though. Andrew,
I'm in my attic digging out Halloween stuff.
Are
Like
you
some
really?
Yeah, I dug these out for my event this weekend. I don't know if you can see that.
It. I can see it. That's adorable. I love it. Yes. Look, and Andrew is another one that
And this.
Andrew was nested to me. You all have heard me talk about this before. And Andrew was just kind of all over the place. And I think he felt like he didn't have any direction and he didn't know where he wanted to be. And we met even before he was on my team, him and Nick. So it was really, really cool. But what I've seen, because I watched him being on our team, and it's not about being on our team. It's just about the fact that he has engagement with so many people now that he sees where he was, he sees where he is. And to see him not ever be on a list of our top people, and then suddenly, here he comes. He sneaks in, coming in the back door. #1 direct sales, #4 this, and I'm like, look, we got some big people on our team who've been doing stuff a long time. So I think he's proved to himself that if he stays consistent and he doesn't give up and he keeps at what he's doing, I'm seeing a new him in this instant, which is really, really good to see. So just didn't expect to go there, but Andrew, kudos to you. So that's
Thank you.
good. Okay, so real quick, let's do, okay, this is, let me get this group chat off here. Okay, this is just, I'm going to put this attachment. There are a bunch of these tracking sheets that are in Onward. I'm going to put all that I have, and y'all can just pick one. Maybe you already have your own. Avon's supposed to be putting this up so we can follow it. But as for me, and I like to keep track of what I know I've done, so I printed some of these out. And this will tell you, like this one right here talks about just the 23 to 26, because remember, we can't earn all the ways. I want to know where I'm at and where are my leaders who have told me that they want Mexico or the money where they're at, and let's see what type of a head start that they get. So I'll be doing that. But then we come down here to 1 through 8, where everything is in play, to see where you're at every single campaign. Where were your personal sales? Did you have Alma recruits? How many people did you have who placed that $150 order or more in their second, third, fourth, fifth campaign? How many of those are you earning? And above all, to be able to look at your business at the end of campaign 8 and say, where am I now? What has stayed here? And what title am I close to, whether I made it during the incentive or not? Where am I going? Those things are really, really important. So I will put some of those in the group too. I know I've been waiting. Normally we have 5 or 6 people who post different ones in Onward. They have since I've been gone to Georgia. So I'm going to get those and swing those over to Team Onward, and you guys will be able to draw from those too. Again, I love this. These type of incentives are what drive me. You know why? Because they're not taking me away from my business. You drive this incentive 3 ways: selling, recruiting, and mentoring. That is what it's all about. You going to sell, if you do it for, if it's 500 or more, you got 1,600 points right there. Recruiting traditional, 300 points. Recruiting Alma leads, 100 points. Each qualified order, well, this is wrong. They did this wrong. I saw this earlier. That's what it was. I changed it in the one I'm going to put in the group and send to you all. They have this backwards. It's 100 points for every $150 order. So you're only getting an additional 100 points. I changed it in a new one. This is the one Scola sent me over. Promote to a new title, 1,000 points. 1,000 points. That's doable for a lot of you that are on this call, okay? A lot of you. Can you imagine promoting to just bronze ambassador for some of you, or silver and gold? You could have 3,000 points right there. And then 1,600 for the $500 orders or more. And then you bring in a few recruits and get somebody on board with you in your first generation, and they title a bronze ambassador. You got 500 more points. This is a cinch for people who really, really, really want to get it done. So I would encourage you, know what your plan is. And if you don't know what your plan is, get with your upline or with me if I am your upline. Most of you know how to do this. I say work your business. Work your business, because that's what this is about. It's about working your business. And find out what your team wants, and is there anybody interested in going to Mexico? Because you know what, if you don't ask them, all it takes is a text. You don't got to always call them. You can text them and go, hey, have you heard about the Avon Mexico incentive? Have you heard about the fact that you can earn the trip or money? And a lot of times they'll be like, no, or sometimes they'll be like, yeah, but I'll never get that. Well, you're probably right. No matter what you say, you're probably right. If you say I never can, you're probably right. But if you say, man, I'd really like that, I wonder if I could, I bet you could. So you can't change everybody's perspective, but would you be willing to do what you needed to? Would you like to go to Mexico? Oh, sure, I'd love to go to Mexico. Okay, well, would you be willing to do what it takes to go to Mexico? This is a lot of these posts. You don't need to be making long posts about, oh my gosh, join my team. So I want to go to Mexico. That's all great. You can tell people that. But how about things like, wow, my company is the best company in the world. I have an opportunity to earn an all-inclusive trip to Mexico, and I can bring other people with me who can do the same. And put perks about it, the all-inclusive package, the fact that it's airfare, that you're not, I just think this kind of a thing, I just think it screams bringing new people on. I think it screams getting people we have now engaged. And for me, the top thing is I'm still always looking for who's going to be part of my top 25%. And things like this shows me who's willing to do the work and who's just hanging around waiting for everything to come to them. So on that, let me stop sharing this for 1 second here, guys, and let's see. The iPad incentive, okay? iPad incentive in itself is a pretty huge deal. You know it and I know it. It's just for newbies, though. It's not for, I got to tell you something. I saw an opportunity to earn another iPad. Before I read everything, I was all excited. I thought I could earn it. That's where I earned. My very first iPad came from Avon. I was so excited. I was like, oh my God, it didn't even have a top memory. I didn't care. I had an iPad. I thought I was the coolest 50-year-old in the world, okay, because I had an iPad. Obviously, that wasn't true, but it made me feel that way, just saying. So let me see here. I had trouble with this. Whoop, hold on. I think Amy was waving at me. What, Amy? Unmute yourself. You're waving.
Can you hear me? You know,
I can hear you, baby.
Okay, so I did a show this weekend, and I talked to another vendor because there's another direct selling company that offers trips too. I was curious. How do you earn your trips? Ours is one of the easiest that anybody can earn, including for our reps to be qualified. They have to do the same thing with sales and recruiting, but to get a qualified recruit, they have to place a $1,500 order to be considered a qualifying consultant.
Wow, seriously.
So, you know, we have, ours is just $150. So, and it's basically the same thing. It's just recruiting and sales. And of course they have, they have quotas unlike us, but theirs are massive. They have to.
That's good to know. I thought so.
For a thing. Yeah.
That's great to know. So see, stop thinking you can't. You can. They ain't got to do all that. See, thank you for that, Amy. That's great. iPad is basically very, very easy. Again, as Brenda and I were talking about a little bit earlier, you are able to do this for any of the newbies who came in during Share the Love. Look, it's $3,000 in sales between them and their first gen between campaigns 23 and 26, okay? Yeah, they can earn it, and they can do $3,000 in sales themselves. I want to meet the person on our team who does that, because I'm liable just to walk up and hug them and kiss them square on the mouth or something, because that's awesome. Because when you think about a newbie like that, Sharon, quit laughing at me. You know it's true. You know it's true. Because I'm thinking, I didn't even do that, and I was a really good salesperson. I didn't do that. But if you can get them bringing a few people on, and think about this, 23, which is getting ready to start, 23, 24, 25, 26, 4 campaigns. And if between them and anybody they bring in themselves, their total sales at the end of 26, $3,000 or more, they got an iPad. Yes, Brenda?
The example showed the rep itself doing 500 a campaign and 1 new qualified recruit a time. And I thought, that is something during holiday season. If you had them even talking about pay off debt, you just want to sign up to pay for Christmas, pay off debt. They want to sign up just to place their own order, just to do things like that. With their warm market, that is very feasible. And for the new rep to get 500 in orders, if they have the warm market and they have a go-getter, they can do that.
So for all of you people who have had people come in during Share the Love, think about what Brenda just said. That is key. You shared an opportunity. We've got prime time. Here comes Christmas. She said, some people, look, now our books, they've got everything for everybody. Even if they wanted to come in and, by the way, get their 40% off everything if they meet the goals. And we can't even do that ourselves as reps for home and fashion. Imagine them being able to save 40% on everything. And then they come in and do that. We've helped them with Christmas. We've helped them save money. We've saved them from divorce because they didn't spend $1,500 on Christmas. And you're going to end up with an iPad. So if you want to get them kicking and moving, even though the majority of us, no, we're not gonna do this, the majority of us, but how can you get your new people who have been in since then to say, wow, I could do this? Do you know anybody who just dreads the holiday season because of the money they have to spend? I think that's everybody in my lifetime, because nobody likes to spend no money if they don't have to. So think about these ways. Think about conversations that you can have. And remember, sometimes instead of trying to convince people, don't say anything, listen, and then offer them a way to help them out. Number one, like I said, looking at whatever I did with the Campaign 25 book, I got to tell you, again, I hope Avon can get us all our stuff that they're talking about giving it to us. But that 25 book, I have a fundraiser in the 25 book for a Christian school. And I got to tell you something. They picked this book, and they picked this book from the demo books, because I always send them 23 through 26 to see what they want. In my opinion, this is one of the best books that we have in the system, that in 26. But think about showing them, just having the brochure or the demo book and go, see what we have come. This is just our new stuff that's come up. The other stuff that you buy from me, think about your customers. These are things to tell your team members now who are, you feel like they're just kind of getting by, they're not doing a whole lot. This would be it. Get them to engage with the fact that if they share with something with somebody else, people will sign up for $25 to get that discount and save. And in the meantime, they're on their way to the iPad. Yes, Amy?
I sold the boots because I wore them. I sold the angel and the tree just because I was using it as a display. I wasn't even planning on selling it. But the lady wasn't leaving without the angel. So she bought it right away, and I sold 2 trees.
That's excellent. Again, it's not always about talking. It's about sharing and showing. If people would learn more about that, that would really, really help. Did I tell? I can't remember. I'm scrolling here. Did I tell you guys I was going to do a video with all the holiday bundles since we couldn't do a sales call? Did I tell you that? I know I told the new call. Okay. Couldn't do the sales call. Zoom was all messed up. In a way, I think it was sent by God. I do, because that exact night, as I was very agitated about everything not working, here comes my UPS man in the dark with all the holiday bundles from RepFest and all of that I had ordered, with the penguins, the flamingos, the trees, all that stuff. So we are busy now setting that up so that we can do a generic live stream about the products, about them working, showing that spooky penguin who goes off when you walk by him. Yeah, gonna do. He freaks me out by the door. Okay, I just get out. Hey, he's talking to me. What the heck is that? It's like, have a little Chucky in the house with me. No, yeah, have a little Chucky in the house with me, except he looked like a penguin, Amy. Yes, that's exactly right. I'm like, quit talking to me. I need to turn him off, take his batteries out. But he sits up really high. She's got him right there. He's absolutely gorgeous. So I'll make it a YouTube also. But if you want to share the live stream, you'll be able to do that. It's not going to have my link on anything. Mine's just simply going to say, if you want my customers, if you want it, you can take it. But just kind of displaying each thing as it's lit up, the whole 9 yards. So hopefully, think about this. Every new person who maybe, or even a customer who buys from you, you can say, wow, do you know that if you had your own Avon account, you could save 40% on these products? Think about it. All the stuff we're going to be showing, for us, they're not ever 40% off because it's home and fashion. They would have that opportunity through all of the holidays. So I think that that's a huge thing. I also know that Andrew was on the new rep call with us too, and he's got a video he's going to be sharing on the penguin. And again, if any of you have videos like that, if any of you, Brenda's been doing it, Julie Paulson's been doing it, Kim Marie has been sharing, you really need to watch the new rep YouTube when it comes out. She shared about having her first event. It was a Halloween event. It's spectacular for you to take the ideas, share it with your new team members. Just really, really, you could see the reps just watching like, oh man, I think I could do that. So the engagement was really good. So I'm going to share it with everybody again, but sometimes my tug isn't enough, guys. My push isn't enough because they're bonded to you, because you brought them into this business and they just look at me as the engine chief who sits in the TP or something. If you say, have you seen my YouTube? You need to like sail through that. They might do it. But for me, a lot of times, you know, if there's not that thing there with me and them, they're not going to do it. Get them looking at this stuff and hopefully that'll be a good thing. Okay. Anybody else have anything? You want to share anything? Are you happy about something? Is there something I can help you with on here? Amy?
All right, this has nothing to do with this, but I have a question just so I can clarify on the Pinnacle Awards. Has that officially been changed? Because I'm being told by some friends, because they're getting slides, they are not bronze leader, but they are still getting team awards. Are being told they're getting team awards for team sales and recruiting. You know, last year it wasn't that way. They had to be a bronze leader and above to get anything. Because they're being told on all these slides that they're showing at Home for the Holidays that they changed it. You no longer have to be bronze leader and above
To get the awards, to get the God, they're not even district awards, they're regional awards. To get the regional awards, is that what we're talking about?
Well, you know, when we go to our PC galas.
Right, so they would have to be regional then, and let be regional or national.
Yeah, I guess we never.
I have not heard that. I will contact Susan Jensen. Let me write it down along with the stuff I got to get Kimberly.
I know last year, me and a few other people missed out, and we thought, because you know, when they said you do, you get, we were under the impression for personal recruiting, we would get one. I knew nothing on team sales, of course, I wasn't ever that good. But when I recruited 9, I was like, yay, I get a trophy. And then they were like, no, you got to be bronze leader. And we were like, you know.
I'm not going to lie. I thought that's how it was because there are twice as many, you know, you got to figure there's 4 times as many bronze ambassadors and all.
They're saying that it's being changed this year because at the Home for the Holidays, they're telling all these people, you know, like Sharon and Tina Patton, she's not a bronze leader yet, but she has been told she's getting 2 team award sales. They're showing it at the Home for the Holidays as if they are getting it, and they're telling them they're saying
okay, let me be clear about something that is, and I don't know if anybody knows this, and I'm not telling you to go bust anybody's bubble, Amy, okay? So let me be clear about that first.
Well, I'm trying to get clarification before
I'm going to give you clarification right now about that Home for the Holiday recognition, okay? I think it's great that they're recognizing people, but it's a fraudulent, man, I'm glad I'm not posting this on YouTube. It's a fraudulent recognition, and let me tell you why. Lisa Scola went to the Home for the Holidays in Alabama because she was going to be in Georgia with her sister during that time, but she wanted to go to one. Normally she'd go to one in Pittsburgh, right? Because she registered for the one in Alabama, she's not in the South. She's in the North, right? But because she was going there, guess what? She took somebody's place that in the South. Avon's not looking at this correctly. So let's say that Lisa in the Northeast was number 4 according to her numbers in the Northeast, okay? But in the South, that may have put her number 2 with her numbers. There may have been 18 more people who maybe didn't go to Home for the Holidays. They didn't register, right? So guess what? Their names weren't on the list. For instance, you know where else they do this? I did not go to the leader, whatever thing they have in January. I didn't go to that last year, right? I knew damn good and well that I should have been on those lists, right? But Amy, I didn't go. But let me tell you what's bad. I knew I would be on the list, right? But I wasn't on the official list they showed there. But the other people like gold leaders who went, Gold leaders who went when so many executives didn't go, guess what? They were slid up into those spots. Like, let's say they were really number 52, Amy, but they got to slide up to number 22 because 35 of us didn't go to that retreat.
Yeah, well, I knew that on their numbers it was different because I know, like, in our tracking, I'm like number 80 something, but on their list I was 20.
The tracking to look at is the national tracking that they have on the thing if you want to look, but I'm not going to lie to you. I'll contact Susan Jensen.
Yeah,
I have heard nothing about them changing that for ambassadors.
By coaches and everybody.
No offense, newsflash. Coaches don't know everything. And coaches know, again, it's not all coaches, but guys, come on, we got to be real here. You're my leaders. You just need to know. Coaches get bonuses off what you do or don't do. And then if they slip up and say, oh, guess what? You do this and you're going to get a Pinnacle Award. I've had them tell so many people on my team, oh, go do this, this, and this. And guess what? You're going to get a Pinnacle Award. You're going to go to Hawaii. And I've been like, they told you what? Like, meet Rose Circle, and guess what? You're going to go to Hawaii. And I'm like, no, that's not how that works. Because if you go from Honor Society to Rose Circle or Council, like in 1 year, guess who gets credit for it? Newsflash, not me, not your leader. The coaches performed this miracle. BS. That's what I say. Number one, you all did it. If you do it, it's up to you, your work that did it. It's not all of them. Some of them are very forthcoming and they actually know what they're talking about. But too many of them are just trying to get people to the next level. And that's good for you as long as you're not the one who's buying up all this stock and keeping the stuff. But you're not going to get that Hawaii trip and you're not going to get that trophy or that recognition. Do what you're going to do because of what you want, because this stuff with the way they're making it sound, we're going to have 98,000 people in Hawaii. It ain't happening. That's not how this rolls. So I haven't heard that, and that could be true. That could be something that, once again, they just haven't put out there for us that they're going to do that. But what bothers me is that there's no one coach saying what another coach is saying.
No.
They're all saying different things, and the only person who's confused is my reps all over the U.S. And I'm sorry, you all are my bread and butter, and you all are my tribe, and I'm not going to lie to you about what's being put out there and not put out there and for the reasons it's being. I'm sorry, I'm just not. I'm not. This is your livelihood. This is your side hustle. This is you trying to earn stuff, and you deserve the truth whether you like it or not. It's just that simple. It's how I feel. And again, if you really love your coach, there's nothing wrong with that. And I want you to love your coach. And if she's telling you the truth, and most of the time, can I be honest? They think they really are telling you the truth. But it's not. It's how they perceive it because they're not digging deeper into the rules. You don't get to go to Hawaii just because you've gone from President's Club to Rose Circle. Do you know how many people are doing that this year? Lots. They're not all going. Because remember, they have to pick so many. So then what happens is there's all these rule breakers for who's going. And it's like calling bingo and you don't know if you have it yet or not. Yeah, Brenda?
I was just going to use for an example when I made Cancun and went to Cancun. When I asked Lee numbers on what to do, he told me, with the way it is, because now, other than the Maui thing, is you do, you get. So we know. Right. And back then you didn't know. It was I had to be the top 60th AUL in the nation, and which I was a unit leader. And he probably laughed at me when I asked him, I want real numbers. But he did come back and tell me, I think this is what you could do and you could make it, but that is no guarantee. And that's how he told me. Now I will say I did make it. My friend from here, Linda Biggs, promoted as she did it, and I promoted from unit leader to AUL, and I had to be AUL to go. It was the first level to do it. When she promoted, though, she promoted to executive or whatever. It was the level above.
Right, great.
Yeah, back then that executive was a level above,
Right.
okay? So she promoted to executive, and when she did, she was on track to earn Cancun. When she did it, it knocked her out.
Yes,
So
it
just as you're talking about if you promote up to Rose Circle, you go into a different thing.
You
It's not
do.
that you're tracking
do.
and that keeps you all in the same tracking. It becomes a different tracking. And she said, if I had not have promoted, I would have earned Cancun with you. And she says, but there was no stopping my promoting. So sometimes when you're on a roll and you're selling, because that's what Amy's is selling, it may be that it pushes you from one category to a different category, and that completely, then when that happens, it changes your tracking. So where you are nationally on this one goes to a different national. So I know firsthand, now it worked out good for me, but it did not work out good for my friend when it happened for her. So I just know firsthand that what Molly is saying, that really happens, and it, because I saw it.
Right. And
I just wanted to see if the real situation helped show what you're talking about.
It absolutely does, Brenda. And let me be clear. What happens is there are certain ways. Okay, guys, you know our incentive now, Mexico. We all know. It's like Brenda said. I love incentives that are you do, you get. That's what I love. It's like, you know, if you sell a certain amount of Avon, you know how much you're making. You know what your percentage is. If you know that if you get 5,000 or 7,000 points, you're going on this trip. Period. You're going. If you are a bronze executive or above, you're going to Maui. Not an easy feat, I will tell you. If you are inner circle, you're going to Maui. If you are President's Council, you know what I'm saying? There are things that you're going to get. There are definites in this industry that if you do this, you're going to get this. But then we have this thing, and remember, this is very new. I'm not sure how Avon's going to leverage all of this. This whole thing with the top 5 in this and the top 5 in that. And I got news for you. Even for me, whether it be for increase or anything else, I don't know how they're, especially the national levels. That can change in a campaign. Somebody in a campaign who you could be well ahead of for something, Amy, could have 2 fundraisers that are $10,000 each. And just like that, Amy, you could be number 4 going on a trip. But in campaign 26, they could have a $30,000 campaign. And you know what? You then have been knocked out of something that you were in. So I'm never going to tell you guys to quit going for Pinnacles or national awards, because you know what? If I earn one, and I've earned some in my day, and it's been great because then Lee could go with me for free. Here's what we did. We never went after those awards. I went after the sure things that I knew could get me on those trips if I wanted them bad enough. And believe me, they don't just give them away willy-nilly because they are these trips. They don't give them to a lot of people, and I get that. But you got to know, go after what you can get. And if you really want to sell that much more and you want a Pinnacle Award or whatever, there is nobody who's going to root for you guys bigger than me. There's not. I'm going to be jumping up and down, celebrating. I'm going to embarrass you. I'm going to make an ass of myself. You know I'm going to be that person who do that, because I cannot wait to see any of you get any of those awards, because I know how hard you work. But I can't be the person, honest to God, sit here and tell you that I know what you're tracking for, and I know what looks good, and I know that anybody can come in at any point in this game and they can bump you. And the thing is, the coaches know that, but they're only looking at the numbers that you all are seeing in that region. And can we be honest, when we're talking about national awards, You're talking about 3 other regions besides your own. That's a lot. That's a lot of people. They're doing a lot of different things, okay? So I would just tell you, go, if you're working your business every day the way you want to because you want to be the best you can, you want to be better financially, you want to be a better person, a better leader, a better everything, you cannot lose doing it that way, because you know what those actions get you? Eventually those actions get you in the top sales spots, and they get you in the top leader spots, because that's what success is all about. That's what it's all about. You work hard and grind. My first trip, my Lord, guys, it didn't happen for, you know how many incentives I tried for? All the ones you all are earning now, because I never had them like this. I'm like, I'm just looking at this. It took me 8 years before I got my first trip with Avon. And you know what it was? Because I titled to then senior executive leadership, which is Brian. And I went to, where did I go? Oh, Alaskan Cruise. Y'all know the story. That's where I went to take lead. I went after the sure thing. I knew if I got that title, I was going to be on that boat to Alaska. That's what I knew. And I was going to Alaska one way or another. And then the next trip, of course, was Hawaii. And we earned Hawaii. And for increase, I didn't even win anything for increases until what, 3 years ago? 3 years ago, out of the top 20, the first year, Lee and I were number 14. And the second year, we were number 13. Guess what? Last year, we didn't even hit the dang list. Are you kidding? So, I didn't go to Disney. I took the buyout. It is what it is. I didn't earn the trip for 2. I took the buyout. So believe me, even at my level, doesn't always happen the way I'd like it to happen. And I would love to earn all that stuff. But you know what? If everybody earned it, they wouldn't be giving away anything as nice as what we're seeking. You realize that? They would be sending us to like Six Flags of Georgia or something, wherever we at. You know what I'm saying? It would be Six Flags or something. That's all it would be. So keep doing what you're doing. And look, this isn't a put down to the coaches. I have a great relationship with a lot of coaches out there. I just feel like that Avon does give them a lot of information that sometimes when they're relaying it, I don't think it's the right information, and the coaches catch the crap for it because, look, they're fighting for their jobs too. They're corporate employees. We don't know how much longer they're going to be around. Nobody does. Look at all the DSMs and all that were let go. That's the corporate world. You know, it's how it is. We are here. When everybody else is gone, the reps are still here. They bring in new corporate people, but we are still here. Okay? So we need to work together as a team and keep doing what we're doing, supporting each other. And you know what, Amy? I hope you're right on that. But I'll find out from Susan Jensen for you and find out what they say, because I haven't heard anything about that as far as all the other levels.
Yeah, I just hate for somebody to be excited.
Yeah, well, I hate it too, but that's the name of the game, isn't it? Because unless you get it from the top, most of the time you just don't know. But yes, Brenda's right. Keep pushing, keep growing, keep believing in yourself. Believe it, and you can achieve it. And look, look, when you step into that zone of, oh my gosh, I just got the pinnacle for what nationally? That's freaking awesome, okay? If you step into those, I'm going to be like, I don't know if she told you right or not, but whatever she did or didn't tell you, yeah, that's right. They on my team and they did it. That's awesome, because that's how it is. But those are rewards that, you know, those surprise things that like you just don't really know until it happens. That's how it is. Those are those kind of awards, okay? So just keep doing what you're doing. You're going to be fine. And let's all go to Mexico and we can drink and forget we ever had the conversation. That's all good. That's what I say. Let's just do that. I'm ready. On Avon even, okay? So that's good. Okay, so I will get this out. Again, this will be unlisted. So the only way you can rewatch this is if you have the link. Please don't share it with anybody else. Please. I entrust my leaders. Look, I stopped doing the recordings for leadership calls because my leader call got in the hands of somebody who was not on my team. And I know they're not listed. Sometimes we talk about people on our team in here, maybe not by name, but we do this so that you have an opportunity to speak from the heart and you get to ask the hard questions. And Corporate comes back at me and says, how come you said this on your call? Because I wanted to, and you can't fire me. That's why I said it, because it's the truth. And they know that, but it shouldn't be getting to people, because I try to keep you all safe in this environment. I try to keep so you can say what you need to say here. This is a safe house for us as leaders here. So I started taping them again, took everybody at their word, and it's all been good. So let's keep that. Go back, watch it, do what you want to do. I'm going to send it to the other leaders who couldn't be here tonight. And some great stuff here tonight, too. Some great truths here. Last call was awesome because we just got a whole bunch of great ideas and everybody ran with it. But this is good, too, because we see that in the direct sales world, not everything is black and white. There's always some gray areas in life and business. But you know what? We do what we have to get through it, go around it, go under it. We go after our goals, and we take the ones that we can achieve. That's what we do. So, let's just keep at it. If you need anything in the meantime, let me know. Like I said, know that your teams are getting this, your new people from here on out. Until this incentive is over, you won't have to worry about doing the copying and all for that. They'll get it, plus they'll get it in their email packet too from me. And after 22 closes, I will give everybody an update on the top 10 of the recruiting incentive for me and the sales incentive for me, so you know where your entries are, top 10 for that, okay? Anything else, Amy?
I just want you to know, I don't know if you're aware, Avon's sending customers things. They sent these flyers out
What are they? What's it say?
with a sample.
Really?
They sent it out. They sent it to me because I'm a registered customer online. And it says, don't miss out. And it says, use Offer Hydra at your representative's online store. We missed you, so you can get 10% off, free samples, and free shipping.
Wow. Okay. So let me ask you, I know what I would do with this. But if I had people who bought from me personally and were not registered at my e-store, I would be making sure that those people knew that if they were registered at my e-store as a customer, whether they bought from me or not personally, that if they were registered, they would get these type of specials. Look, they get the free shipping for $25. They get the free deal. There's so much online customers get that our regular customers don't get. This would be a great thing, Amy, to share. Now, I didn't know. I mean, I'm my own registered customer too. I haven't gotten one, but I love that. I think that's great that they're doing that, saying come back. But that's a good thing. Hey, I just found this out. Hey, Amy, do me a favor, if you will. You don't have to do it tonight, honey, because it's late. But if you would take a picture of that and just kind of show that to where the girls could take the pictures off of Team Onward if they wanted to say, hey, wow, I just found out that my online customers, they're getting this, no, I don't think they have to, Andrew. This is, they have to, all they have to do is register as a customer. I don't think it's about placing an order or not. Avon wants them to register.
I haven't placed an order. Well, I placed one order on my e-store recently because I needed an emergency order for a customer. But
right.
I haven't ordered in a while, and I don't.
I mean, I've got customers who've never ordered, but they're still getting all the deals and everything that they send them, and they order through me. That's why they're my personal customers, but they still get all this other stuff. And if they're trying to entice them to buy online or whatever it may be, that's what Avon's trying to do. It's guerrilla marketing at its finest.
Yeah, I do like at the bottom it says your representative's online store.
I love that. That's awesome too. I love that. So maybe share that in them and go, hey, if you're my registered customer, you could get really cool stuff like this. Oh, thank you, Avon, blah, 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 for taking care of my customers who haven't ordered in a while. Whatever it is that you want to say, but having that visual there to go, oh my gosh, I could have gotten that. All you have to do is go here, and then Amy can give her site, go here and register as my customer.
Could she make copies of that little thing and without giving out the samples or give out the samples, but give it to her customers and say, go register at my site. You can use this Hydra coupon, or would it have to have been already registered?
Well, it's not, it doesn't, it's just one code, Amy, right? Just a code.
It just says use offer code Hydra at your representative's online store. And it says
So I'm thinking we could copy that and give it out to every person and put it in their brochure, and it might help drive online sales right now.
Give you that repeat of the core products. If they like it, they're going to come back and buy it. This is, see, here we go. I was looking for one good dang idea right there. There it is, right there, Amy. Thank you for that, Brenda. Thank you for that. There we are. We have it. We have the leader one idea that's come forward right here. I think it's a great thing, and it's good to know that they've done that too. In this one, you know, some people are like, I don't want to register for one more thing. But if they think they're getting something free, guess what they'll do? They'll register. So that's what I would suggest. Okay, well, I need to jump off here because I got one more call that I've got to do in like 5 minutes, Brenda. If you'll give me 5 minutes, baby, and then I will jump on the Zoom with you. Anything you guys need. Hey, they do, Andrew, but if they register with fake email, it is what it is. They're not going to get what they're going to. So, I mean, it's beyond them. They're not going to get it then. But if they send it to them in the mail, who knows? Maybe it'll fake them out. Who knows? Maybe they'll get it. Oh, my God, I used the wrong email. Sucks to be you. Just saying. So yeah, so whatever you need, feel free. I will get this out in the next couple of days. You won't get it tomorrow, guys. It's closeout Tuesday tomorrow. So I'm going to be on the computer, sending out last call, trying to get everyone. I was registered with Linda Staggers and then for some reason stopped getting them. Re-register, Sharon. See if it'll let you re-register again. Go to your site, Sharon, your site. Like you're your own customer. So go there and then say, I want to be my own customer, because that's what I am. I'm my own customer. Put your name, your email, all of that on there. Mark yes that you want all the stuff there, you know, because that's a good way for you to keep up with Avon's offering your customers too. And it says I have an account already. You have another email address? Try a different email address. They normally do it by the email address. I do. I got one in my Gmail, one in my AOL. Don't get me started. All kinds of ways for me to get in there and do different stuff. So if you have a different Gmail, you can make one. You absolutely can. Just one for that so that you're registered. Or wait. Sharon, you could also go. What do they call it, Brenda? Where they delink you or whatever. They delink you. Go into your account. You were registered with Linda and delink yourself. You don't want to be with that person, right?
Unlink and then relink under you as the representative. You should be able to pull up your regular account, and even if it still shows Linda, add yourself. If it's showing you, go ahead and unlink from you too, and then relink back up, because then that way it'll cause the process to happen. Yes, and see if that works. And if all of that fails, just make a new email and go in and do it again. Go in and do it again, and that way you will know exactly what your customers are getting, and they'll do all of that. So see if that works for you. Okay? All right, everybody. Good to see some faces on here I haven't seen in a while. It's awesome to see you guys get together. So if you need me, reach out and holler. Reach out to your uplines and holler. Don't holler too loud because you hurt my feelings, but you can holler. And I'll see you guys. I'll try to get that other thing done with the Christmas stuff too here in the next week, okay? I'll put it in the Onward group first, and, you know, you guys can share it, maybe get some sales because of my crazy self, all right? No, not Bobby Bones right now, my man, but you know, I love me some Bobby Bones. I've been too busy today. Okay, I'm keeping you on here. I'll see you guys later. Brenda, talk to you in 5. Bye-bye.